happy last day, boot campers. I'm so proud of you for sticking with this for 15 days, for showing up every day, for most of all, for trying to be a better parent. This is the most important job we'll ever have, as you know, and it's so easy to forget how important this job is when we're in the day-to-day and we're overwhelmed and stressed and tired with chores and school and bills. And I understand, and I'm there with you, and I'm struggling too, but together we're stronger. We're staying accountable to, not losing our cool in the midst of the storms, knowing they're going to have those, and understanding what an important role you play as the mirror to your children and who they believe they are is all because of what you show them. As you can see, some of my favorite books, and I have more, but I just grabbed a few here in the background. The Conscious Parent has taught me so much. Compound Effect, a new book I can't wait to read. I've heard a lot of good things about it, called I Thought It Was Just Me, but It Isn't. Making the journey from what will people think to I am enough. That's key, because when you start to love yourself, you can then be the parent that God made you to be without projecting, your own struggles and sadnesses onto your kids and looking for them to fill you in ways that they don't even know how to yet. And lastly, of course, failing forward and knowing the value in learning as we go. And I'm going to fail every day. So for you, this is part of life. Just know that as you're failing and as you're learning and growing, the point of all of this is to love and have more fun with your children so that they can grow up to be so happy and healthy and have such a good positive self-concept, and your relationship can flourish and not be, deteriorated by stress and conflict and bickering and all that good stuff. The stresses and the struggles and the trials and the storms, they're going to come. There's not a perfect world. They're not perfect children, and we're not perfect parents. But we're going to love them perfectly by giving it our all and by getting up when we fall and having the conversation. If you haven't had it yet, mommy is learning and I want you to learn with me. Let's change some things in our house. Let's change this. When Felicity, sometimes if she's having a tough time and I keep my cool together, 20, 30 minutes later, she'll start playing with one of her dolls and like disciplining them. And she'll be like, she was very bad. So she's in trouble now. And I'm like, well, make sure you be gentle. And she's like, yes, I'm gonna give her some time to cool down. And like, she starts talking about strategies. And I know for her, like when I lose it, I know that deeply affects her. And when I keep it together and I hold her hand through the storm, I can tell how much of a difference it makes for her internally. And she can't quite verbalize it yet, but she knows the difference, and she wants mommy to be happy and steady along with her. And remember, they're having these big feelings, but they're not equipped yet with the strategies like we are to, handle them. So just like you and I, if we're stressing out about, a big financial matter or something happened in our family, or you got a crazy piece of news from your doctor, like it could be anything, but those big feelings that you and I are having, it's the same thing for our kids. They have big feelings too. They don't know how to hop on Google and get more information, or call a friend, or sit down with a glass of wine and watch a movie. Like, they don't have those strategies yet. So we're teaching them how to work through the feelings and how to focus on what really matters, focusing on the good, and lending them your love and support so they don't feel like they're in this alone, they're not overwhelmed. Whatever you do, never give up. I want you to keep learning, keep working on you, keep believing, and have hope that your children are the most precious gift you will ever have. I have tons more content for you, but I'm a firm believer in trying to keep this, bright and brief, fun and done. So I might do another round. If that's something you'd be interested in, please let me know. Maybe like a round 2 or take 2 or something like that. But in the meantime, please know that I'm offering this boot camp again next month. And for sure, I want you to share it with someone you think needs it, or with anyone you think it could help. So whether you share it on your Facebook wall, or you share a video, or you share an invitation, like, please let anyone know who needs this, that there is hope and that there are strategies out there, that you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to read a ton of books to start employing simple strategies. And we can do this together, staying accountable to this, and being like, I can't tell you how many times I was like on the verge of losing my cool this past weekend, and just knowing I was going to get to read all of your comments and that you were trying to keep it together too, gave me like that little extra ounce of grace that I needed when they were pushing all of my buttons all at once. So I love you. I thank you so much for doing this with me, for trusting me, for hanging in there, for showing up. And I can't wait to see how this boot camp helps you and affects your family and helps you all to flourish. And I pray for you all. And I thank you again. Mwah. I love you.